This game right here. I'm guessing you're talking about this one. Let's take a look. What I find interesting is you're playing 80 trend, and not just in one game. I mean, 80 trend is situationally viable right now, but AP trend is quite popular, so I'm surprised you haven't tried that. Or at least in your match history, I don't see much of it. Okay, against an R top, this is one of those cancer lanes. Not a whole lot you can do as Trendemere. You can see that much already. Let's take a look through this. So to red side only. So now we got just short vision.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
Got the Conqueror Keystone. The laning phase I don't really comment on. They're at times 4 speed. I'm surprised you didn't start Doran's Shield knowing how oppressive this laning phase was going to be. Oh, you got him. Nice. You actually managed to get the Gnar. Impressive. Crit gloves. I'm guessing you're going for a static shiv. Had an R top feed his Jack's opponent really hard and decided to attack speed now right away. Yeah, I don't get that. The enemy team has a Riven in the jungle. That's right. Here comes Riven. If you're going for Berserker Greaves against the team comp that they have, I'm not sure Berserker Greaves will be the best answer. Laning phase is still going on. There's a Rakan mid on the enemy team. Riven tower dives you. Keep running, keep running, keep running. There we go. You didn't stop. That's good. So this sort. As for the mistakes in the laning phase, I'm not the best judge of laning phase stuff, as that's not my specialty.
Red team's turret has been
Like, my laning has always been considerably weak. Okay, the Gnar is roaming down bottom, or towards the mid lane. You should be able to push this with impunity. Let's see what the actions. The enemy team's getting the dragon. Wait, why are you? They slay the dragon. Rakan's mid. Twitch is down here. Does he have a mallet? No, he doesn't have a mallet. You ran away a bit prematurely there. Could have got a bit more damage on the turret, I think. Oh, you're going mid to farm, okay. Why you're not getting fed? You should wait here, that's good. Wait here. You guys can collapse on the Gnar. Here he comes. fight breaks out. Since he's not nearby. Set back to red team's vision. Kind of rewind that a bit. And set that back to just the red team's vision. So right now you don't have any vision on this area over here. You want to collapse on the Gnar. You were checking to see if it's coming back. You found it down here. So this is the point at which I would not chase these guys down this way because he's already too far. There's no vision on a large chunk of the map. You don't know what's waiting for you around here. But what you do know is the Gnar spent a lot of time up here, and he's trying to run away. He's heading down this way now. If he's running away, odds are his team might be coming to help him out here. So you don't have to have vision here to know that there's a possibility. Okay, so when that thing comes out, that's when you know they're definitely here. But even before that, chasing him down here, the more time you spend chasing someone, the more likely it is their team is coming to save them, and things are going to go really badly. But that's something to keep in mind. If you didn't expect the enemy team to arrive here, you should have. That's one of the things I just want to point out. Also, I don't know if you're buying any control wards during this game.
Shut down.
So that entire fight where 3 of you died was the result of chasing the Gnar into an area where you had no vision. And I would have given up that chase. Because if you don't know what's there, and you don't see the enemy team anywhere else on the map, don't tunnel on chasing that one guy, because that's a trap that it's leading you into. So that's one big mistake right there, the chase into blind fog of war.
Shut down.
Rivet. Jinx killed the Riven. Now you guys are together. Gnar is fine. Yes, okay. Rift Herald, right call. You should be focusing the Rift Herald at the... never leave it a chance. Always kill it quickly. Never leave it a chance. That's... okay, so popping the Rift Herald here might be a bit premature. You want to pop the Rift Herald in fights where you get 1 or 2 kills, because that will go a long way. This Herald might go to waste. So with this Herald, you got 1 turret. I'm guessing you came in, you got excited, and you dropped it right away to get 1 turret. Do not use the Rift Herald as a means of getting 1 turret. Pretty much ever, unless it's one of the last turrets you absolutely need. What you do want to do is use it in a fight where you get 1 or 2 kills. If you get a kill and you're 5 against 4 or 5 against 3, and then you pop the Herald, that's a Herald that can actually go through multiple turrets and the inhibitor. I think I had a video on my channel somewhere where from the mid lane, we managed to push the enemy Nexus with a Rift Herald play 5 against 5, where we got a kill as we were pushing, and that allowed us to close the game out. Now let's forward this. So 2 things so far. 1 was the blind chase right here, and 2, the premature Herald. I'm not sure if you just were excited to use it, but yeah. Never use a Rift Herald just for 1 turret. Alright, so right now you're split pushing, that's alright. The Fizz is going for the kill on the Morgana. Wait, what are you... Alright, so the team fight is already underway. So you got the Riven, I guess. Alright, chasing her. So...
Blue team's turret.
Let's rewind this a bit. I kind of get what you're going for over here. So you see a pig on the enemy fizz, your team is fighting the enemy team, there's Riven, and you're running all the way from up here to down here to think I can help out. And I wouldn't expect you to get a whole lot of done here because of how far away you are. You do come down. So all of your effort went on the Riven. You didn't contribute a whole lot towards killing the Gnar. And Riven got away, right? So this is one of the fundamental issues with Tryndamere in team fights. He doesn't get a whole lot done on his own. And when he came down there, the only value you contributed was you ignited the Riven and chased her away. If you kept pushing up here, I don't think the... let's rewind this a bit more. The Gnar that... where's Gnar? So the Gnar that's teleporting here. Right? Try that again. It failed to capture him properly. The Gnar that's coming in here, he's able to come here because you stopped pushing the top lane. If you kept pushing this, there would be no teleport coming from Gnar. Does that make sense? What you added to the team fight by arriving here was you ignited Riven and you chased her and she got away. Didn't contribute to the kill on Rakan or the Riven. The Rakan or the Gnar, but had you kept pushing, Gnar would have been forced to hold on to his teleport, and your team could kill the Rakan and continue pushing down mid, taking this turret and possibly this one, or Gnar will be forced to come back and defend this, and you can take the top turret. So you could have got this turret and this turret without coming down here. Does that make sense? Like, if you are going to teamfight as Tryndamere, it's great to have champions like Karma and Lulu around so that you can get on targets. But in cases like this, the value that you contributed by coming down here was not as good as what it would have been if you stayed topped and prevented Gnar from using his teleports. Because if Gnar sees you pushing, he's not going to use his teleport to go help out Rakan and Riven. The key value that Tryndamere provides to a team is map pressure. I mean, he does a lot of single target damage, but it's not about the damage, not about the slows, it's not about the spins, it's all about map pressure. If you can exert map pressure on the top side, Gnar would not be able to teleport. And that would have gone a lot better for you, because you keep Gnar busy up here. You're a 1-4 Tryndamere keeping a 0-2-7 Gnar busy in the top lane. He has teleport, he wants to use it to help out his team, but he can't. You kill the Rakan, the Riven's forced to run away at low HP, and the rest of your team can push freely, taking this turret and this turret. You would have got at least two turrets, either this one and this one, if Gnar did not come back, or this one and this one. If Gnar stayed here, your team pushed, Gnar was forced to cool back, you would have got two turrets out of that. And at the end of the day, it's the turrets that matter, right? If you have to get as many turrets as you can, working your way towards the enemy nexus. See what's going on. Keep pushing the top lane. Phase misses ultimate, not a big deal, that's fine. Also, I don't know if you've been buying any control wards, but you want to ward, or at least hit this little vision thing. Sorry. Let me speed it up again. You want to get vision on the side of the jungle that you're pushing through. So if you're pushing through here, do carry a control ward with you at all times and drop it along this side of jungle, or use your trinkets. But you want to have vision as you're pushing. Okay. You hit the Squire's Bloom, nice. You see it's empty. What does this guy have? He has Giant's Belt. His items are all over the place. He wanted to build a Black Cleaver, now he's building Frozen Mallet. The team's pushing bottom, so you're rotating towards mid. Okay, that's alright as long as you're split up. Why are you recalling? Okay, so this recall right here is a really bad idea because you're essentially giving up map pressure. Your team is here ready to push. when your team is making a push, that's the worst time to recall because your team says in their minds, we have committed to getting this turret, so we're going to push no matter what. Even though they should recall if they see you pulling back, they should retreat. Even though they should, it's an ego thing. The fact that they've committed to pushing this now means they have to see it toward the end, and if they die, they blame the Tryndamere they recalled. Do you see how that works out? So it's not just the fact that you shouldn't be recalling here, you should keep pushing the mid lane or the top lane. You recalling means the correct move for them is to not push so hard. But it's an ego thing. This is League of Legends. They feel they're making the right play, they're going to keep pushing. Base is coming down, so now your team, are they giving this up or are they pulling back? I hope they pull back. So this, yeah. So your team's got to wait now for the position. Fizz is back here. Gnar might be coming down soon. So let's rewind this a bit and take a look at what all this came from. No, I absolutely get it. Recalling to buy items because you have the gold. I get a lot of people do that, right? But whenever you're recalling, and I know this is a mistake that people make in Platinum and Diamond as well, look at the conditions on the map, and the item that you can get, even if it's an Infinity Edge or a Phantom Dash or something really, really strong, take a look at what your team is doing, because getting one item for yourself is not as valuable as a number of objectives on the map. So, as I said, your team is pushing here, you are recalling. This removes you from the front lines. The enemy team is now 5 against 4. Now the Fizz, I believe, is somewhat smart. He does not want to come in because he sees you come back. They're really trying to hold back. Braum and Jinx, they want to make this play happen on this turret, even though you're not. So if you were pushing this wave down here, then they could still stay here. But the reason they're staying here is because they made the decision to make this push, and they're like, oh, Tryndamere went to recall to buy items, so, you know, screw that guy, we're still gonna go with this push. Because we made this call, we're gonna stick with it. That's what's going on here. They get too close, here comes Gnar, and yeah, 3 people die. 3 people die. Well, 2 people die. Your AD carry and support. And you're up here pushing, but no one has to respond to it yet. You lost the Fizz, you lost the the Nidalee as well. All of that was from one recall to buy. What did you buy? To buy a static shift. When your team decided, hey, we made a call, we're gonna force it anyway, even though they. So, 1, it was bad on you for recalling when you did, and 2, your team should have pulled back. But, you know, they made the boneheaded decision to keep pushing anyway, and this is League of Legends. You have to expect those kind of egotistical plays. They stuck through with it, they got themselves killed knowing Tryndamere was not around, and this is just one of those things that happen. This happens a lot in League. This is basically the, it's a more advanced version of the AD carry and support in the bottom lane, the support going back to base to buy an item, the AD carry pushing forward, and getting killed 1v2 against the enemy AD carry and support. This is just an extended version of that, where you went back to base, so your team is 4 against 5, they kept pushing, and 4 of them died from the play that came about from that. Your Fizz keeps missing his ultimate. Anyways, I hope that made sense. So now you're pushing the bottom side. Riven is up here. Let's set it back to just Red Team's vision. So Riven's inside your jungle. Nice play by Fizz. Oh shit, she lived. So right now, against the enemy team could Baron, they will not want to because, yeah, you're pushing the their base. Here's Gnar going back. So this right here, this is the kind of play that you're looking for. You want to force these guys to respond to you. This is what map pressure is all about. Then you get this turret. It did not have ultimate.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
Thought you had ultimate. Alright, I'm guessing you might have been late on pressing that, or maybe you got a lag spike, but I think you gotta got that turret. Oh, you did get the turret. Did you use your ultimate?
Blue team double kill.
As long as you got the turret, it's fine. Whether you use your ultimate or not, as long as you got the turret, it's fine. Alright, let's fast forward through this. Alright, going into the dragon, that's what they're playing. Get an aggressive spin. There's the Rakan. Two people in the enemy team are dead. Your ultimate's down, not a big deal. Now you can push. Two members of the enemy team are dead. There's the right play right here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Tyler Dane, if everyone took the advice that I give, a lot of the plays that I make would not work. People would no longer fall for a lot of the strategies that abuse bad positioning. Now what's going on here? Italy is on the bottom side of the map, I'm not sure why. The enemy team lost their support, you guys lost your AP carry. Should place a ward here if you can. Run away, that's fine. I'm not so sure about rushing double crit items. If that's a good idea. If anything, what you could get is Swift Boots instead of Zerker Greaves because of the slows and CC that they have. Particularly on the Gnar. Alright, so this is my Baron, kills his ultimate. 5 breaks out. Your team is just straight up winning the fight without you. Yeah, tell you what, I'll take this out as a separate video and I'll make it public so you can review it later. No problem. So far, the only so this is the right play. Pushing this. Enemy team is up here. So right now, you should be warding along here and staying back a bit and waiting for your team to get down here. That's good. Stay back. Stay back. You don't have to go mid. You don't have to go mid. Okay. So while your team is pushing bottom, you should be pushing top. Because it's easier for them to run from mid to bottom than it is for them to run from top to bottom. All you did was ran here, spun around, and then came back to where you left off. So you're here, that's good. The more time your team can waste with these 5 people here, the more you guys can push. Let's got this, that's good. The enemy team's going all in on your allies. You guys should be able to get 2 inhibitor acts out of this. And then back out. So you lost 3 people, but you got 2 inhibitors. That is an okay trade. The Morgana stole the Scarlet Crab. So the late game with Trent, this is one of those things that I still always debate. Whether to continue the 1-4 or go 5-5 when you get 2 inhibs down. Honestly, you would provide more value to your team by keeping Gnar on the top side of the map than allowing him to join his team. You should. So if you haven't done this so far, you should be communicating with your team, telling them to wait for you to apply pressure over here. Holy shit. So yeah, if you haven't done that, always communicate with your team, tell them to wait until you're actually in position to apply pressure. The zone trap is easy or not? Who has this easy rod? Oh, the Braum God, that's nice. You're not gonna get this, but it's a worthwhile effort. %10 chest. That's a good way to look at it, yeah. When you are playing a split push champion, communicating with your team is mandatory. Because they are going to push without checking where you are. That's going to happen. This is solo queue. That always happens. You have to continuously communicate with them, tell them to like ping retreat non-stop until you get to a position where you draw the enemy Gnar towards you. And tell the enemy, tell your team to watch for someone to come up top as you're pushing. Right now, you and Jinx are preventing the. This is going for kills. Fish, let's get the inhib. Okay, Fish got the inhib. Nice, you got 2 inhibs. So you guys got 2 inhibs, you got the Baron buff, and you got the Elder Drake. So right now what I would do is I would go down here, tell your team to wait for you to get down here, and just keep the Gnar away from the rest of his team. If you can do that, that contributes much more to a team fight than you trying to be in the team fight and auto-attacking when a Riven, a Rakan, and a Morgana, and a Gnar are going to be CCing you. Snared. And you got forced to pop your ultimate. Nice. So you managed to pop the Riven's ult. And you guys managed to end the game. Okay. And you end the game on the right. So the few key mistakes that were made that could have been done better is one, the blind chase on the Gnar over here much earlier in the game, which in Italy, which got a huge amount of your team wiped out. The second major error was the one recall right here, not thinking about what your team would be doing when you decide, I want to go back and buy my static shiv. You can't make a make that decision in a vacuum because you have teammates that have made decisions at that time. They committed to pushing this bottom turret no matter what, and 4 people ended up dying while you recalled by a static shiv. Yes, static shiv gives you a power spike, but 4 people on your team dying because they committed to a play when you decided to recall, that gives the enemy team a massive gold spike across the entire board, which helps their team much, much more. More vision on Nard top early, by the way. I can't comment on the laning phase against Nard once again because my laning phase is not that great. I haven't had much luck against Nard myself. Not playing the gods here. AP Trend. AP Trend might have been better. AP Trend might have been better because the heals and the spins would have been a lot better. You would have had cooldown reduction, right? You would have had cooldown reduction. Plus, I believe AP Trend shreds objectives faster because of the way ability power applies. The way AP enhances your auto attacks structures. It might have been faster to clear objectives with AP Trend. The key value you could provide for your team is keeping Gnar out of team fights. The amount of damage that you deal to single targets was not a whole lot in team fights, except at the end right there because the Riven came right on top of you. You saw what happened when you came down here earlier trying to catch Riven, right? You ignited her, she was extremely low, she danced herself away using her shield to survive, and the Gnar that was up here that had to defend against you, he managed to teleport here. And yeah, you guys won, but that play could have been better because you could have got 2 turrets out of that instead of 1 had you not come down from the top lane to the mid lane. Yes, I get it that it seems like your team needs help and you're helping them out, and it is a tough call to make because sometimes you are needed over there, but you provided much more value by keeping the Gnar away from the fights than you did by actually being in them. That's what I would say. Same thing if you're facing any champion that provides a shitload of utility to their team. Say I'm facing a Malphite up top as a a Jax, an Aurelia, or a Tryndamere, like any split pushing top laner. You're better off pushing top to keep the Malphite out of the team fights. Well, maybe Aurelia and Fiora can get stuff done in team fights. Tryndamere is one of those champions that gets absolutely crippled by CC. You saw how quickly you got forced to use your ultimate right there. You got hit with 1 snare, and they dive in on you, and you have to hit the R key right away, right? That's Tryndamere in a team fight. He gets CC, he gets forced to use his ultimate, and then you're stuck playing chicken for a while. Now, this didn't work out for you right here, but overall, Tryndamere's gameplay pattern is focusing on split pushing. Alright, I got an ant in my room. Give me a sec, just killing this. Where did this thing come from? The ant's dead. 1 sec. Alright, I'll post this later on once I'm done the stream.